Alright, well today I am going to do a little bit of a review of this little piece of work here. What have we got? Samsung Smart TV. So the question is, this is a 2013 television. How good is a smart TV from 2013 in 2024? So, first things first, what have we got? It is a UA32D6000, and I know from Samsung's website that the 32 UA means it's Australian delivered, 32 inches, and D means it was manufactured in 2013. 6000 is the series. So what do you get? You don't get Wi-Fi on this model. There is a Wi-Fi adapter, but that's purchased separately. You've got an RJ45 LAN connection, headphones, and next to that we've got a audio video port. Now it goes in through a 3.5mm plug, and it uses one of these. So this is from another brand, but it'll fit. So no longer so that they save room on ports on the back, you just get a 3.5mm plug like that, and it splits into yellow for composite video and left and right RCA. Antenna and PC in, and then up the side here, sorry about that, damn thing never stops ringing. So there's also that's a PC DVI audio in for DVI for digital connections where you don't have audio. There's another component in here. I've never seen one of these plugs before, but there you have it. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 HDMI ins, which is pretty generous. Audio return channel, and so DVI basically is HDMI to DVI on DVI 1. And then you've got 1, 2, 3 USB and 1 SPDIF for digital audio optical out. So what do you get? You get an EPG, which is not too laggy. That's all pretty standard stuff. You get a standard menu with picture controls, sound controls, network, system, and support. Electronic manual. Let's have a look at that. Just trying to load the electronic manual. Yeah, so that all works. That's pretty good. And the picture-in-picture for the TV still is on at the same time, which is quite a nice little feature. So you've got basic features, you've got preferences, you've got advanced features, and you've got other options here. Now what I'm looking for is to see if it gives me any information on the date. No, it doesn't. It just tells me about Dolby Digital, which I'm not interested in. You can also go to the channel list and scroll down. You can set up favorites. It's quite nice the way that it pops up details for basically the channel that it's picking up from the EPG. Now, if I go to Tools, you can go to the different modes for the picture, and the sound is...
But the recipe was always great.
Yeah.
And now I realise that tomato sauce actually has a Chinese origin. Yeah.
It's actually not too bad. If I'm going to keep this TV, and I probably will, it's going to be my garage TV because my Hitachi 28-inch TV has died, then I will replace the speakers and use the inbuilt 10-watt per channel amplifier, and I'll use external speakers, and that is a combination that works really, really well on every TV. So, the smart features. Let's go to the Smart Hub. Now, do any of these actually work? The short answer is no. Not a single app would open properly. Even if they did require updating, which they would update from a website, they still wouldn't open. So 13 years later, not one single app on the Smart TV was functional. Now be aware that I've got 50 megabits a second of data in this particular room. I mean, Deezer, click on Deezer, everything has to update. What you can't do is you can't download apps that you want. So you can't download Netflix, you can't download Stan, you can't download Apple TV, and you can't download... Yeah, okay, so it doesn't like that. And you can't download YouTube, which is a real kicker. So basically, let's go to SBS On Demand. No, it doesn't like that either. Now this is a 1920 by 1080, so it's a full HD display. So it says, sorry, SBS On Demand isn't available right now. I know that it is, so it's a problem with the app, and it's because this app, the engine, is very, very old. So if I go to iView, ABC iView, good old auntie, there is an error contacting the server. So basically none of these apps work. So I actually haven't been able to use any online functionality at all. We'll go over here, we'll go to, I don't know, Wiggle Time TV, or Sydney Morning Herald The Age, Ovation, I don't know what Ovation is, we'll try that. Service is unavailable due to network interference. So basically this TV is absolutely useless. So none of the smart apps can be updated. You cannot use any what I would call current streaming applications, which is Netflix, Stan, Amazon Prime, Apple TV or YouTube. So this TV is great if you want to just watch terrestrial broadcasts, if you want to plug in USB devices, which I sometimes do, or if you want to listen to, say, background radio like jazz or something like that, which I also do. But if you want to use it as a streaming service television, then the only option you've got is to plug a Chromecast in. They're getting data. So, right, so I'll go into Smart Hub, boink, and we'll go into Samsung apps. So these are all the things that you can download. But I mean, Al Jazeera, are you serious? Bollywood free? I mean, these are apps that you can download onto the. Now this is already installed. So here we go. If I run now, previous page, it doesn't work. Nothing works. None of the smart apps I've got to work. So extremely frustrating. Go up to the immersive experience. See what that tells me. Okay, that's all it tells you. That it's an immersive experience. That's fantastic. So my frustration is that the technology, this TV has lasted for 13 years, that's not the problem, but none of the software is functional. None of the software is functional for any of the online applications, basically. Which means if you buy a TV in 2024, in 2037, which sounds like the future, which it is, yeah, nothing works. Nothing is going to work. So this is inbuilt obsolescence, forcing users to buy equipment that they don't need just to keep up with software because it doesn't get updated. Anyway, that's enough. Yeah, absolutely hopeless. And also the interface is very, very sluggish. Even jumping between channels here is very, very, very slow. So it picked up all the channels okay. So at the moment we're on radio. So if I want to go to the guide, the channel list, sorry, you go across to the left and at the moment you can see I'm on radio, top left there. If I go across, you get TV or you get all. So it's picked up. You can see how many channels it's picked up. It's picked up a stack. There's nothing wrong with the tuner. So it is an H.264 decoding engine. So it doesn't use MPEG layer 2, which is a very, very old decoding engine that old plasma TVs use. So sometimes people are buying old HD TVs, so full 1080i or 1080p TVs, but they find they can't tune to say ABC HD or Channel 9 or Channel 10 HD or whatever, and it's because the old broadcasts and the old televisions used to broadcast in MPEG layer 2 and now they broadcast in H.264. No problem with the picture quality, as I said, full 1920 by 1080 display, but none of the smart features work, and I will be keeping this TV as a garage banger, but if you come across one of these, I would absolutely steer clear of it. It's quite heavy, it's 10 kilos. Okay, so that's quite handy, but not much good for anything apart from a television, terrestrial television. The remote is okay, no real complaints. A lot of the text has rubbed off from overuse. I have actually, you will have seen at the start of the video, I pulled this apart entirely and cleaned all the gunk out of it. Otherwise, nothing wrong with the remote. Nice big easy buttons, no problems. But a pretty useless TV. Okay, this is going to be a tutorial on how to clean this remote control. 59-00507A for a Samsung 32-inch Smart TV from 2011. But I just wanted to show you, I'll click this one apart and have a look at all of the crud that is inside your remote control. So I'm going to clean this because it's making me feel a bit ill just looking at it. So pull it apart. I'm also going to use a 2B carbon pencil just to retouch up these pads, just to give them a bit better contact. Also see sweat on the inside of this. Yeah, so absolutely grim. So you can wash this with absolute impunity in some hot soapy water. Be a little bit careful with this. You can see there's a micro switch in the middle, so got to be a little bit careful. So super simple process. Just flood the head of an old toothbrush with some cream cleanser and just scrub and scrub and scrub. And now this is beautiful and clean. You'll lose a little bit of plastic. I've got some chipped off bits here, but small price to pay for a non-ferrule remote. So this is dry and it appears clean, but if you look closely, you can still see some muck built up on the inside of each of the button recesses, the little ferrules there. So I'm just going to drop that into some near boiling water, soften that for a few minutes, and then go around each of those ferrules with a tip of a head of a Q-tip, an earbud, and clean those out. So this has been properly cleaned now, so simply a matter of sliding that back in. Turn it over and see what it looks like. Some of the buttons are a bit faded, but that's okay. And you can either use, this is a very, very heavyweight pencil. You can see it's a 2B. So it's a Shakespeare pencil. And you can either rub this on the back of each of the dots like so, put some extra graphite, which is highly conductive, or you can use a bit of powder, graphite powder, and the tip of a Q-tip and wipe it on. So I've got a tiny bit down there. Just going to dip that in, wet the end of the Q-tip, and just put that on. And I can see that each one that I've done has a nice little shine to it from the extra graphite. Right, now that that's done, you can see that they're all nice and shiny on the back there. I'm just going to take this outside, just give it a gentle blow, just so that you don't get any shorts with excess graphite on the inside. So when you're reassembling this, firstly make sure all the buttons are properly flush, which this is, and start, now that I've got the back panel assembled as well, always start from the LED end, which is this end here. And do it upside down with the battery cover facing up so that the buttons stay recessed. Voila, perfect, one remote, done. Now I'll do a review of the TV.